Hi there, keen traders. It was an interesting day of trading today. Not so much in actually the positions I was in or wasn't in, but we have nice setups that we can have. Very actionable in the near future here, and we do have some stacker setups that we can try to jump into. And we'll first off talk about, well, I guess the Euro JPY trade that went into. I think it's set up perfectly. If I remember correctly, to enter at 135.15, I was looking for a break of this 135.50 level, which in hindsight looks like an absolutely horrible trade, but that's just how it works. We held at this 135 level and pushed down aggressively, which is going to give us a nice setup in that. In the Great Britain JPY, not so much in the Great Britain Oz, Great Britain JPY. In the Great Britain Oz, it's on the nice punch higher, but right here at resistance again at 72.50. In New Zealand, all the way at the top. Let's take a look at that. On the 1 day, all the way at the top of its range now in the triangle. I'm not too concerned about that triangle. But I am concerned about this range. If we could just break out of it, it would be so nice. We'd have to get out of 95, but we did go all the way from 190, 170, and this week we did cover the whole range from 190, 178 up to 195. Basically, that would have been a nice move to jump into in itself. So what we're going to take a look though is at the stacker trades that have set up, and then we'll go through the fib trades for tomorrow. First, the Euro USD. You can see that this pair broke this ascending trend line, and in the process it looked like we were all ready to go for a break of this range to the top side. And what I was hoping for, to tell you the truth, was a euro move all the way up to here. I was expecting the exact opposite, but then the data, we had the surprise announcement from Draghi about the possibility of negative interest rates, and the FOMC were basically, it said that tapering is coming in the next few months. Well, wasn't tapering coming a few months ago? So I don't know where we're going to draw from that. It's a relative expression to say that we could have tapering this way or that way and so forth. What we really need to have is tapering. Or nobody knows when tapering is going to happen, and all you can do is react to it. And what we have here is what appears to be a continuation of this move. And it is very interesting how we had this all occur. We had a push down lower, a perfect bounce at the 50 fib, and then where did we bounce on the backside for the move back down? Right at the 50 fib. I mean, it's trading incredibly technically right now, but it is chopping along. It is chopping along. So what we're going to see here now is, what I'm going to favor is this pushback down lower. We have a break at the bottom of this range. The trend line, I would have been much more comfortable with a pushback higher here. We didn't get it. But what I'm going to look for now is a break higher up to about the 50 fib of this level. And I'm just going to set it. I don't have to sit and watch it, and the stops will all be well defined. So let's go through, and I'll give you the exact setup right now. We just run a fib from the very top of the move all the way to the very bottom of the move, and we have it. And we're just looking for a pullback to that 50 fib level, which currently is at 143. Let's make sure we have the right numbers. The low is 134.14. The high is at 78. Let's check our parameters here. Parameters, trend line 78. Actually, I know it's closer to 78. 14. Okay. All right, so we have an entry target at 134.96, and what we're going to say, to just make it for simplicity right here, is we're going to be looking for an entry in the Euro USD right at the top of that range again at 135. And for a push back up to that 135, and our stop is just going to be a little bit above this 135.79, so we're going to say at 135.85. So we're risking 85 pips, but we're looking for a push back up to that level and then a continued move lower. Now, if we get another strike down lower, that of course will change our entry point, where we're looking for a push down from that level. And if we did get another push down lower, we would have moved our stop loss if we are lucky enough to get into it at that point, at the new entry level. So that's what we're looking for in the Euro USD. I'm favoring the trend lower. We had the spike high, we had a re-clearing of the range, and we're looking for a push up. Actually, let's make it very precise. We're looking for a push to the range at the price of 134.96. And if we get that, we're going to go short, and the stop will be at 135.85. So that's a lot of risk, but there's always the most risk when you first enter a position. In the USD Swiss franc, we have the same thing. We can see that we had the The downtrend, nice bounce off this ascending trend line or descending trend line. We had a break of the scalp high, which was at 191.09. Not a very clear-cut break. This could definitely be congestion forming, but we can see that if we would like to see a pullback in this pair to the 91.33 level, would place our stop at the low here at 90.70, let's say, and we'll be looking for a pushback higher in this pair towards 92.50. So those are the trades, the setups we're looking at. And the Great Britain USD still in that chop range. It could stay in this chop range for literally months. I mean, it's been in it for 2 months. I don't have any clear-cut bias either way in that pair at the current moment, so I'll be sidelined at that. And I will put these on the blogs, this trade setups I'm looking for in the Swiss franc and the Great Britain. Now let's take a more clear look at what we have in the today's trade. We'll look actually on the JPY, and then we'll go into what we could be possibly having, what we'll be looking for in the future in the Euro JPY. Well, in the other pair, excuse me, I was a little distracted there. In the Euro JPY, you can see that this pair was a real pain today. We had the push higher. We had what looked like to be a bounce at our 50 fib level. Entered, I don't actually remember what time I entered, around 5 a.m. my time. Entered the trade. It was looking pretty good for a while, and then you can see that we just all the bottom fell out of it. So tonight, though, we're going to have a much nicer range to work with because we have quite a big day here, and what we'll be looking for in this pair is just to come back to this level and looking for a continuation move lower. And so we're just going to be looking for a push up towards, it looks like 135.02, looking for a push back down lower, and the target and so forth I'll put on the blog. Great Britain JPY, I was hesitant to get into this trade before the data. You can see that the pair is just kind of chugging along. There's no clear correct direction right now in this setup. If anything comes clear, I'll post it on the blog. And in the New Zealand pairs, though, I'm sure there's much more interesting stuff going on here. Luckily, I stayed out of these trades today, but an incredible move in the Great Britain New Zealand. And what we're watching for right here in this Great Britain New Zealand cross is to see if we break this 195 level, because we all know it's in that range. We talked about it earlier, even just in this video. We're in this range that we've been in for quite some time, between this 195 and the bottom of it, which is about 191. Let's just say that 38 fib at 191.78. We're looking for a break of this in either directions. It could be in a triangle. We can see that it's covered the entire range. What we could watch is if we get some kind of significant reversal on a 1 or 2 hour basis, it could be a good opportunity to jump in this and just ride it back down to the bottom, But if the we'll have to watch and see how the currencies play out. The Great Britain odd, on the other hand, this pair had a monster move today in its standards for sure, and luckily we did not follow our bias for continued push lower. So we can see that the pair did come up right about the highs at 173. So we're definitely going to be watching this pair for a pullback, for an opportunity to get into it, and can't really drive the fibs right now because the pair is still very much in play. But the pullback would be in the short term to this 171.70 level, and we'll be looking for a move back up higher in that cross. So the setups are nice, stacker trades are setting up well, and it should be a great day of trading tomorrow. All right, everybody, have a great one. And I think data is relatively light from this point out, so it should be interesting. All right, everybody, good one. Talk to you later.